Hello, my name is Abby Cohen. I'm a rabbi here in Portland, Oregon, and I'm here with my daughter, who I'll let introduce herself.
My name is Dalya, and I'm the daughter.
We are obviously Jewish, since I'm a rabbi. We want to talk for a couple of minutes about what that means to us in a context of living in what feels like a Christian country, I think, to us, although others may not see it that way. Dalya, I'm wondering what you have to say about that.
Oh, man. I mean, when you think about the public schooling, I remember very distinctly when I was in high school, and I was probably one of two Jewish kids in the whole school. I was in my social studies class in my senior year, and my teacher had asked me, because we were discussing the Arab-Israeli conflict, and they were like, what is your perspective as the Jewish person? What is your perspective on the issue? And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, why is it being presented to me like this? Why am I the voice of all of the Jewish people?
The interesting thing, what you're saying, is that you were expected to represent all Jews.
Yeah.
There's an old saying in Judaism, if you have two Jews in a room, you have three opinions. I always like to contextualize Judaism less as a faith and more as a practice. I've heard it referred to as the three B's in descending importance. The first most important B, behaviors. Judaism really talks about how we're supposed to behave day to day in pretty much everything, in terms of business, in terms of how we get dressed in the morning, what we eat, what we celebrate. And the second B is belonging. And there is an identity, a Jewish identity, which kind of transcends geographic borders. And we talk about the people of Israel. And then the third B, which you might have expected to be the first one, is believing. I always like to emphasize that for my experience, believing is third out of three. We do spend a lot of time praying to God, however we may conceive of God, especially on the high holidays, which are primarily Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And I'm going to ask you, Dalya, to talk about some of the memories that you have. In terms of history, Rosh Hashanah is traditionally thought of as the birthday of the world. Dalya, what do you remember growing up about Rosh Hashanah?
Honey cake, apples and honey.
Why do we eat those things?
For a sweet new year.
On Yom Kippur, it's kind of a different tone, right?
Yeah.
Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. That's the day where we really spend all day in synagogue because we don't eat, we don't drink anything. We spend the day either confessing our sins as a community and as individuals, and asking God to forgive us and to keep us alive for the coming year. Rosh Hashanah, we're pretty much celebrating that we did stay alive for the previous year. When did you first fast on Yom Kippur? How old were you? When you were 13, maybe?
That was probably the only time I did.
That's fair enough. It's a pretty intense liturgical experience. Although we're confessing all day long together, we do it as a community. It's collective. We don't want to embarrass anybody by having someone say, oh yes, I did, I committed adultery, or I lied, or I stole money. We all kind of take it on as a community. And I think that's, again, it's testimony to the belonging aspect of those three B's. We're not confessing as individuals. We're saying someone in our community, maybe it was us, maybe it wasn't us, has done this. We're asking God to please forgive us for this and grant us atonement. Some people have said that Yom Kippur is like a rehearsal for your death. When you die and you stand before God and you have to kind of account for everything you've done, we try to get it out of the way while we're still alive.
Abby, what drew you to becoming a rabbi?
You want the real answer? I could tell you that it's because I have a very powerful belief in God, but that's not exactly true. I'm kind of, my jury's out on God. I don't know. I'm probably an agnostic in that regard. But I do appreciate the Jewish values and the Jewish laws and the way we're supposed to live, which is really to pursue justice for everyone and to ensure that nobody suffers needlessly. That really has been my impetus for being a rabbi.